How you going, James Taylor?
How are you?
Yeah, doing great.
That's great. It's going on. So, what do you want to talk about?
I want to prove to you that the King James Bible is true and real.
Okay, go ahead.
James, do you believe that the wind has waves?
The wind has waves.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what you mean. Explain.
I'll explain. Do you believe that, let's say a tornado, do you believe a tornado can have wind in it?
Well, that's exactly what a tornado is.
So that would mean wind has waves.
Well, a tornado can have waves, yes, cause waves. The air can be wavy if you like, sure.
So you believe that the wind has waves?
Nothing to do about belief, Dale. It's provable, testifiable. So it doesn't matter whether I believe it is what it is.
Alright. So then you'll believe and you'll be capable of believing and having trusting and having faith in what the Bible says in Job 28 verse 25. To make a way for the wind, and he weigheth the waters by measure.
Okay, still not seeing your point yet.
My point is that the King James Bible of Job 28 verse 25 talks about winds and it talks about waters.
Yeah, and it also talks about demons and supernatural events. I'm still not seeing your point.
My point is that wind, the wind is real, so that means that Job 28 verse 25 is real.
By that same logic, Harry Potter talks about London. So Harry Potter is the...
Which Harry Potter are you talking about? The news reporter or the one in the movie?
We'll go with the one in the books, up to the books like the movies. And when you're using book, let's go with the book format. The book format of Harry Potter mentions London, which means Harry Potter is real, using that exact same definition.
So Harry Potter is a real person.
Well, he is.
He stars in the Harry Potter movie.
Well, then he must be real, right? According to your logic, he must be.
Yeah, he's real. It talks about London, so London's a real place. So it obviously takes a real alive person to talk about real things, correct?
Well, yes, it does.
So then you'll believe in the winds in Job 28 verse 25.
Why would I believe?
Because logically, winds, we have the winds within Australia, and so Job 28 verse 25 talks about the winds.
Yes, it does.
So that's
and
real.
We know how winds form and where it's caused, everything like that. You're still not making your point. Yes, I believe that there are winds. I believe that winds can have waves. My belief in them has nothing to do with anything. Still not making a point.
So you know that Job 28 verse 25 is correct about the winds?
Is it correct?
Yes.
I'm going to allow, yes. I will say yes, it is correct, but that still doesn't prove your point. All it says is, this person spoke about wind. That's all it's done. It's not proving the point about your belief or you need me to believe in your theory.
So let's say, for example, let's say a science teacher, is in a classroom talking about how a tornado has wings in it, and naturally someone would actually believe what the science teacher is saying. They wouldn't try and disprove that there's wings. And the fact is you would accept that fact that winds has weight in it, or that the winds are in tornadoes that cause weight, can cause a house to be tossed over and thrown out to sea.
Nothing to do with weight, that's pressure.
Like in order
Pressure.
in order for something to lift something, it has to have weight.
No. Pressure. Pressure is what causes houses to be torn apart by tornadoes. Air pressure. That's what causes it. I mean, basic science can show that to you. It's air pressure or a lack of air pressure. Air rushing to fill that void. That's what it's all about. That's why we have winds. But it's not a weight. It's pressure. Air pressure.
So James, you know what it takes for you to believe that the King James Bible is real?
I know it's real. I've got a copy of it myself.
Wow.
Is it believable? Not so much. But it's real because I have a copy. I can touch it. I can take photos of it. I can show it to people. It's definitely real. It's not believable, but it's real.
You believe it's real?
I believe the book that I hold in my hand is real. Yes.
Cool.
I don't believe the Bible tells the truth. The King James Version certainly does not. I think it's quite the opposite in many cases, provably so. But the actual book I hold in my hand that is provable, testifiable, falsifiable even, is a real book, yes.
James, if I could prove to you that just by, because I've got many Bible verses here, if I could just prove to you that some like the King James Bible, the verses that I share with you, just like that, I could prove that they're real. Would you actually believe that?
That would depend on how you try to prove it.
All right.
If there's certain aspects towards truth that I would like to see, I'm not quite named on this. I would like as much truth in my life as possible, and a little falsehood in my life as possible. If you can show me absolute truth, prove it, by all means, do so, I welcome it.
I'm all about truth. See, I tell people that I want to teach them truth and that, and not error. So James, do you believe that grasshoppers are real?
Yes, I do.
Alright, cool. So you'll be capable of believing and having trusting and having faith and know that the prophet Isaiah is correct about what he said in Isaiah 40 verse 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in.
Well, we should pull that first apart. First off, it's not a circle. It's a sphere.
It's circle.
It's not a circle. A circle is a flat thing. It's not a circle. It's a sphere. Oblate sphere.
Circle is round.
Yes, it is. And the earth is round. It's an oblate sphere. I'm told you.
So then it's a circle if it's round.
Is an oval a circle?
It can be if I dig a circle in the ground.
No, is an oval. Have you the shape? Is the shape of an oval a circle?
A shape of a... Say that again.
The oval shape. Could you class the shape of an oval as a circle?
Like a circle. You can make shapes of circles like round, like carving a round type thing.
What I'm trying to say, the shape of the earth is an oblate sphere. It is not a circle. It's not even round.
Well,
it's a sphere, not a circle.
It's well, in order for, I'll logically prove it to you. Okay, if I go out in the backyard, right, I can dig a circle in my backyard, right?
Right.
So by me being able to dig a round circle in the backyard, that proves that the earth can be a circle.
Why would that prove anything?
Because I can actually create a circle in the ground.
And how does that prove the earth?
Because when I look at the earth on the map, it's round, it's circular. It's a circle. Like,
Yes, and you're not answering the question either. How does that prove? How does that prove?
because I can dig a hole in the ground.
No, that doesn't prove anything other than you can dig a hole in the ground.
Well, you can't refute it.
The shape of the earth. Now, we'll move on, because I'm sure you've got many more points. So we'll move on. The other part of that is stretches out the heavens like a canopy. Are the heavens canopies?
He stretches out the heavens as a curtain.
Are they curtains?
Yeah, big long curtain. God has his curtains up there.
So there's a curtain that we can actually see, look at, point at, prove.
Yeah, with our spiritual eyes.
Oh, I see. That's what I was saying. I thought you were actually showing some proof. That's the Bible. There is no curtain, no canopy, no tent, no anything like that. We can prove that because we're able to now go out of space. We go to corridors around space. There is no curtain, no canopy, no tent, nothing. What there is our hemisphere, our atmosphere, and then there's the stratosphere, and then we've got our hemisphere. There's certainly no curtains and canopies in the So you ask if I can believe Isaiah 40:22. No. There might be grasshoppers. I believe there are grasshoppers. I've seen grasshoppers. I've held them in my hands as a boy. Everything else about that entire scripture is completely and provably wrong. Earth is not certain. The heavens are not a curtain, and he doesn't spread them out like a tent. So I can't believe that.
So the Lord Yeshua Messiah Jesus Christ was right when he said to the prophet Isaiah in Isaiah 40 verse 22, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in." Grasshoppers are mentioned in there, so the prophet Isaiah is talking about real grasshoppers that we've all felt.
Right. And that doesn't prove the certainty of the curtain of the heaven and a tent dwelling.
But
there are many things that are mentioned in the Bible that are actual and factual and provable. Jerusalem, for instance, is mentioned in the Bible. That's a provable place. We can go there, we can see that. That doesn't mean anything said about Jerusalem in any spiritual form is true and correct. It's because things are mentioned in the Bible, not make the Bible completely true. I'm sure you can understand that. I'm quite sure.
I'm just going to go into a logical point that I'm trying to make, James. Let's say, right, let's say you're walking down the road, right, and you see this big high-rise building, right, and you try and look all the way up to the top, and it's really big, but you can't actually see the top. And let's say I say that there are curtains in that room, but yet you can't see them from a distance. And so basically, how would you go on, and how would you be able to prove that I'm correct?
Could you just repeat, because I'm not quite sure what you're saying. You're saying there's a huge tall building, and there's a room at the top that has curtains in it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
How would I prove?
Yeah.
Well, I'd go up to the top of that, into that room and have a look at the curtains.
And you'll be able to see them.
Yes.
So you have to search, right?
Correct.
So in Isaiah 40 verse 22, all you have to do with your spiritual eyes is call out to the Lord Yeshua Jesus Christ to actually open up your spiritual eyes to actually see the curtains in heaven. You would have to search for it.
But in saying that, Dale, you already know that I was a Christian. I was a Bible-believing, full-on fundamental Christian. I was, dare I say, not much like you. I studied and I thought I saw the curtain figure of speech. Then I opened my eyes and I realised there are no curtains, no curtains. They're all in your mind.
So you deny the existence of curtains?
Before you say that and start twisting my words, I know you're very, very adept. I'm not saying curtains do not exist. I'm saying curtains. I'm talking about the spiritual curtains do not exist.
How do you know that?
Again, I 35 plus years.
Did
I know.
Did you know the Lord?
I thought I did.
So you didn't.
I thought I did.
Well,
At the time I was quite convinced though. I knew the Lord quite convinced. That's what it is. Now, I don't think it is. But I thought I did at the time. That counselling.
did you have a personal relationship with the Lord Yeshua, Messiah, Jesus Christ?
I thought I had a relationship with Jesus Christ. I don't know about all those other guys you're talking about. But yes, at the time I thought I was having a personal, deep, heartfelt connection and relationship with Jesus Christ and God. At the time I was absolutely convinced. Couldn't have talked me out.
So the Yeshua, do you know the meaning of...
Yeshua is Jesus. It's like saying Jesus, Jesus. It's a moot point. You don't need to say it. Yeshua is Jesus. So you can't say Yeshua or you can say Jesus. So say Yeshua, Jesus. It's a real moot point.
And do you know where Yeshua came from? Like what language?
Israel.
Which language?
The language of the Bible, which depending on where you came from, it's like Aramaic or Greek. But it was Yeshua is a Greek word.
It's a Hebrew name.
Not.
Yeah, it is.
No. Don't have a look now.
It is. It's his Hebrew name. Yeshua is Hebrew, and when you translate Yeshua into Greek, it's different, and then from the Greek to the English.
You're right. I apologise. You are right. Because his name would have been Yeshua bin Yosef. Right. You're absolutely correct. I apologise there. I was going the other way. But yes, okay. But even then, it's like saying his name twice. It's like saying your name in Italian and then in English. Still calling him Dale.
Yeah.
There's no need for the Yeshua Jesus Christ. Just Jesus Christ or Yeshua Christ. Or Yesu Christ, if you want to do it.
Do you know what Messiah means?
I certainly do know. It means one who's most high and anointed.
Messiah means the anointed one.
Most high and anointed, yes.
I'm going to ask you another question, James. Do you believe blood is the source of life and health?
No, it forms part of the life, but it's certainly not the source of it.
So it's like blood it can sustain life, right?
You need blood. Well, we humans need blood to stay alive, and many mammals do as well. Many animals across the animal kingdom need blood to be alive. Take the blood out of them, they don't live. The same applies for their heart, brain. Take the essential parts out of them, they no longer live. Take the blood out, they no longer live. If you're trying to say that blood is the source of life, not the brain and the heart are as well.
So the blood, like the blood, you know, like can like be the source of life, like can create life.
Explain to you how it can't be the source of life. It's a part of life, and we need it to live. Yes, but certainly not the source of life.
James, do you believe that the ocean contains springs?
Contains what? I'm sorry.
Springs.
Spell it out for me.
Springs.
Oh, springs. Does it contain springs?
Yes. So then you'll be capable of believing and having trust in and having faith in Job 38 verse 16. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the deep depths?
Well, am I capable of believing what Job says about the springs? Or am I'm not quite sure your point.
My point is that you said yes to my question about that like springs. So Job 38 verse 16 talks about springs of the sea.
Right.
So that's true.
Verse 16, hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked through the search of the depth? Yes. What's the point?
Welcome to Christianity.
Doesn't work. Good try, though. Good try. I understand what you're trying to say, but perhaps you should read all of that particular chapter, Job 38. It's basically asking you, how do you know the things you know when you haven't gone as far as to check them out? Read the entire chapter, that's what it's all about. Have you entered into the springs of the sea, or have you seen walked in the search of the depth? In other words, what do you know until you go search for it?
Yeah, that's right. You've got to search for it. It's like...
Correct. So what you're trying to do is make a word twist. I don't know why you do that, but you seem to do, about certain things and twist people's words just enough to fit what you want them to say. You've done it to me several times. You already know that. Verse 16 is only asking of a part of it. Have you searched? And verse 18, hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Clear if thou knowest it all. It's asking you to search, to find. Not about being Christian. It's not about having faith. Anything is saying, stop believing in told and actually go to it. Which I did, which is why I'm an atheist. Or as I more commonly relate to, I'm an atheist, someone who cannot take things on faith.
So Job was correct about what he said about the springs of the sea.
Yes, and he also in verse 7 to 10, have the gates of death been opened under thee? Hast thou seen the doors that show of death? It's also correct there, because you haven't. It's also correct that hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? I guarantee you haven't, and neither have I. So we don't know until we go search.
That's right. That's like you've got to search for something. Just a question, James, technical question. How do you know if something's real if you don't search for it?
What if you have searched for it and you've not found any proof, even remotely, for it?
Then you would have to prove that it's not real.
No, I could automatically assume it's not. The assumption is, if you can't find something, there is absolutely zero proof that that thing doesn't exist, then it's safe to assume it doesn't exist. See, we require, as humans, we require proof of things. If you want to say, there's a shiny penny on the floor, but you can't see it, but I need you to search for it. And I search everywhere. I check behind the cupboards, I lift up my computer desk, and I can't find it. And all I can assume is it doesn't exist. You told me the fable's lie. So I've done the search, believe me, and I still search to this very day. I have my Bible on the daily, I'm on my desk right now. I still search. I've not found yet. I'm nearly 45 years old. I'm not going to cut out of the day saying that. And all my time, of that 45 years, I found it.
James, just a question. So basically, like, yeah, because as humans, like, we want to actually search for something to see if it's real. So we've got to look for the evidence and all that. So so far I've shown you and I've proven to you evidence from the King James Bible. And so your eyes have been lit up. And so just a question, James. Could you prove to a blind person that the water is real?
Yes, I could. I could take them to the water's edge and make them with their hands and feel it. They could experiment with it.
So they don't have to see it?
No, but I could show them other ways. They could feel it. They could have the sensation of what the water was and what it felt like. They could bathe in it. They could scoop it up and throw it in the air and hear it land back in the water again. It's still a provable thing. Even if they couldn't see it, I could prove it. You do not have to see something to know it's real. You only have to feel it, touch it, taste it, have proof of it. Can you do that with your God?
Yeah, like basically
And show me how.
show you how.
Show me how I can do the exact same thing I want to do. If you think your God is real, Jesus Christ is real, everything in the Bible is real, I want you to tell me the secret method so I can find out how God is real.
Well,
Is God real? Tell me the recipe.
Yeah.
Show me how God can be proven to be real, and I'll believe you.
Alright.
Because I've been waiting, Dale. I really have. No one to this stage has been able to do it. And if you can do it for me, I'll tell you what, you'll be better than many of the theologians I talk to, theologians that I have discussions with. So please, I await the faith of prayer.
Alright. Have you ever worshipped God in spirit and in truth?
Yes, I used to be a Christian. We've always gone over this.
If you were to have you been taught how to enter into the presence of the Lord?
Absolutely. Again, evangelical Christian.
Do you know how? Like, can you briefly, if you've been told, can you remember some of the things that you've been taught how to enter into the presence of the Lord?
Okay. From my memory, well, see how we go. From my memory, what I used to do, before I even opened the Bible, I would find a quiet place and I'd have a prayer. I'd pray for guidance and consideration and all those. I start opening my Bible and going through, and if I found something that was a point, something that was pointed at me, I would say thank you, close my book, have another quiet prayer, and walk away. And be quite happy. Is that the answer you were looking for?
The answer I'm looking for would be, like, have you ever read Psalms 101, verse 1 to verse 5?
Before we do any more of the have you ever read, I've read the Bible cover to cover several times, still read it today. There's a very good chance I've read everything in the Bible. And several Bibles I might have, different versions of it. Not just the King James, which by the way was I was brought up on, so I know it quite well.
So, if I was to tell you to go and read Psalm 100 verse 1 to verse 5 and say, Lord, I want to enter into your gates with thanksgiving, enter into your courts with praise, would you do that?
Well, Psalm 100 is only 5 verses long anyway. But I've read it, I know it. I can repeat it for you if you like.
Yes.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. And into his gates with thanksgiving, into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations.
Now, what you do before you enter worship is you say, Lord, Yeshua, Messiah, Jesus Christ, I want to make a joyful noise unto you. And I believe that you are Lord in all the lands. And then you say, Lord, I want to serve you with gladness. I want to come before your presence with singing. And I know and I believe in and having trust and faith that you, Lord Yeshua, Jesus Christ, is God, and that you have made us, and we are not ourselves. We are your people, God, and we are the sheep of your pasture. And then you say, I want to enter into your gates with thanksgiving, and I want to enter into your courts with praise, and bless your name, Lord. And for the Lord is good, and I believe and have trust in and having faith that the Lord is good. His mercy endures to all generations. His mercy and truth endures to all generations. And then you say, Amen.
Which is what I said I did do. I had a quiet prayer before I even opened my Bible.
And what prayer was that? Can you remember it?
You know, I didn't have anything that was a route of some sort. I said whatever I felt. I prayed with sincerity, openness and honesty. Sometimes the words change, sometimes I repeat it myself.
There is also a prayer of praise and worship.
And it also says in the Bible to not be repetitive in your prayers like the Pharisees.
Do you know what repetitive means?
hairstyle to repeat something. You're quite adept at it.
Have you ever read John 4 verse 24?
I've just said to you before, I've read the entire Bible. So I have read it. But perhaps you could say, could I point you towards John 1? So what's the scripture you'd like to look at?
John 4 verse 24. And it's Jesus Christ says, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Yes.
So that's how you can get through them.
You're cherry-picking 1/3 of the entire thing when it's got nothing to do with how you went to God. That's about the woman talking to.
Then Jesus talks about they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. For example, meaning, right, is that whenever I worship God, Jesus Christ, I say, Lord Yeshua, Messiah, Jesus Christ, I worship you in spirit and in truth. Then I start worshiping, then I start singing out to the Lord Yeshua, Messiah, Jesus Christ. Then of course,
well, okay, good for you.
Then of course I feel his presence. I get pictures of who he is. I get all this love, joy and peace flowing through my inner man, and I get this joyfulness, and I get so happy, and God just touches me in such a big spiritual way where no one can disprove that.
I get the same feeling when I watch my children play. Are they God?
No. But I feel God's love, joy and peace.
What you feel is a euphoria. Is your body giving you chemicals? Glad. I really am glad. But I presume that if there were not of God, you'd still be the same